That morning, as I looked out the window, I could feel it, my heart racing. A tangled knot of excitement and anxiety, the kind you only understand if you've lived it. It was a pivotal moment, a crossroads. I was about to make a huge change, and the fear was almost overwhelming. What would people think? What would I lose? What did life really have in store for me? All I could focus on was worry. I'd program myself to do one thing and one thing only: worry. And when worrying is your default setting, you inevitably see life through a lens of scarcity. You're constantly on maintain mode, protecting the little you have instead of seeking more. Playing defense against the world instead of the offense required to bring the world in to reshape it. You're stuck, frozen. Are you living your life in maintain mode? That morning, I was numb, cold, lost in the gray. But deep down, something else was stirring. A tiny ember, too small to recognize at the time. A spark of courage. If someone had asked me then, can you be scared and courageous at the same time? I would have said, absolutely not. They're opposites, night and day, fire and water. But what if I was wrong? What if time, experience, and a willingness to look closer revealed something profound? Time's job is to reveal, and it has shown me, and it will show you, that there is no courage without fear. Think about it. There is no fire, no matter how bright, how powerful, that doesn't by default create shadows. Those mysterious shapes dancing in the periphery. If you want the fire, the passion, the drive, the life, you must learn to dance with what hides in those shadows. You must learn to go where your impulse begs you not to. And so that morning, I made a choice. I went to dance with my demons. What demons are you avoiding? What fears are holding you back from the fire you deserve? This isn't about being reckless. It's about acknowledging the fear, respecting it, and then moving through it. That's the first step, the first crucial step to believing in yourself. It's about saying, I see you, fear, but you don't control me. As I drove away that morning, I wasn't just leaving a place. I was leaving a mindset, a manufactured idea about who I was, what I was capable of, and what life would allow. It wasn't a sudden snap, not a magical transformation. It was the beginning of an adventure of pulling back the curtains one by one on all the limitations I blindly accepted. We all do it. We allow ourselves a certain level of growth, a certain amount of happiness, a certain amount of time to do what we love. We have expectations about work, income, even the way we feel when we look in the mirror. And I'm not here to tell you that any of those are inherently good or bad. I'm here to remind you that they are all stories. Our current state is not etched in stone. It's clumsily drawn. We can redraw it. You are not stuck in a chair because the chair is holding you back. You're stuck because of your perception of the chair, your understanding of your supposed role in life. That role is a story, and you are the author. What is holding you back? Stop and think. What is holding you back? We need to recognize those mental constraints, acknowledge that it is the mental constraints created by you that's hold you down. The first step to getting more is understanding what you've already accepted as enough. It's about recognizing that the reality you see is often far less scary than the reality you imagine. No chain, no lock, no wall can be more debilitating than the mental constraints we create for ourselves in our own heads. The man guarding the door, he can just as easily be the one who unlocks it. And what better time than now to turn that key, to step out and confront what was once nothing more than a vast empty space, to jump into the cold water of the unknown, The world doesn't tell you who you are or what you're capable of. The world doesn't give orders. It reacts. It reacts to who you decide to be. You have the power to choose, to decide, to be aware that the potential victories, the growth, the experiences waiting for you, they always outweigh the potential defeats. Who were you yesterday? It doesn't matter. Who can you be tomorrow? That's the question. All chapters end, and you decide when that happens. Everything else belongs in the rearview mirror. Success is knowing this. It's believing it. It's holding on when others would let go. It's refusing to let falsehoods and debilitating stories guide your way. Stop letting those narratives tell you who you are. Start creating reality with your own 2 feet. Why? Because you can. Because you were meant for more, and because more starts now. Stop protecting what you've built as if that's where the value lies. No, the value is in you, the builder, your knowledge, your ability to build more and to build again and again, if you so desire. I remember a conversation I had with a fellow entrepreneur. We were talking about risk, about the fear of a desired outcome not unfolding the way we wanted. And this person stood up and said, we need to stop looking at our businesses like they're the only thing, like they need to be protected at all costs. If it falls down, if it's taken away, it's not over. We are entrepreneurs. The power, the strength is in our ability to build again, not in the thing that's built. Think about that. Even if everything you've created disappeared overnight, no one can take away what you've learned. Your ability to add value, to create, to contribute, that's what's been built. That's what's truly yours, and that's indestructible. What value will you go out and build today? Truly living is about uncapping yourself. I recently started reading Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker, and there's a powerful point he makes early on. It's about focusing on your strengths, not endlessly trying to fix your weaknesses. We often waste time trying to become merely competent in areas we have no business being in, when if we just embrace the things we love, the things we're naturally drawn to, we could be truly impactful in those areas, leaders in those areas. I use this example all the time. Calculus. In my second year of calculus, I realized absolutely not. This is not for me. It felt like a square peg in a round hole. I'm drawn to creativity, to writing, to speaking. Could I have improved at calculus? Sure. With enough time and effort, I might have even gotten good at it. But would I have enjoyed it? No. That's not where my skill set is best utilized. That's not what I was born to do. And because of that, my ceiling would have been much, much lower than someone who is naturally gifted in that area. What are you naturally drawn to? What lights you up? What feels effortless, even when it's challenging? Don't waste your life trying to win a game that isn't yours. Focus on where you can truly shine. There's an old saying, once you've started, you're halfway there. How does that make sense? You might think, once you've started, you've only just begun. And technically, that's true. But here's the thing. The journey, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, they can all be dealt with. They knock us down, sure, but we learn. We adjust. The hardest part, the truly difficult part, is overcoming that initial inertia, the self-doubt, the fear of the unknown. Once you break through that, once you take that first step, you've already conquered the biggest obstacle, because human beings always follow through on who they believe themselves to be. If you don't believe you're worthy of something, the pursuit is lost before it even begins. Jordan Peterson said it perfectly. If you are not willing to be a fool, you can't be a master. Think about that. In the cycle of self-discovery, of growth, we have to step into arenas that are foreign to us. We have to be willing to operate with inadequate resources, trusting that we'll pick them up along the way. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. We might look foolish. We might fail. What's the other option? To fear that moment of discomfort and never jump in. To stay in your comfort zone, forever limited. The climb might seem steep, but it's manageable. You'll acclimate. The adversity? It's the price of admission to a life of growth, of prosperity, of fulfillment. Embrace your critics. Swallow your pride. Move towards a tomorrow that far exceeds today. Let's talk about dreams. Dreams are not magic. They're not some instant formula for success. If they were, we'd all be living our dream lives already. Dreams require a willingness to start and a single step forward. The rest, we figure it out along the way. Every decision to carry on, through the haze, through the doubt, through the setbacks, that's what builds the dream. Don't go it alone. Have a solid foundation. Lean on your dreams. They are there to serve as a guide, as your lighthouse. You don't have to leap all at once. Find within yourself the courage to simply crack the door. Just let a little bit of light in. That dream, that vision you have, it's not a threat to your safety. It's an invitation. An invitation to immerse yourself in all that is beautiful, meaningful, worthwhile, jaw-dropping, eye-opening, and powerful. It's what cracks that door and lets the light in. So dream away. Let it pull you. Let it guide you. Let it be the reason you never lose sight of the incredible potential within you. And what about the past? The mistakes? The regrets? Those feelings of discontent that rise to the surface, threatening to pull you back down into a manufactured hell. Don't let them. A friend of mine once told me, from our pain comes our purpose. From our despair comes our hope. It's from the times we got it completely wrong that we can now arm ourselves with the ability to get it right. To be better, faster, stronger, wiser. Yesterday's pain, its lessons, they can be the very reason you transform, evolve into a higher version of yourself, but only if you stop using those lessons as an attack on your self-esteem. Start seeing them as the gateway to tomorrow. Otherwise, they'll remain a ball and chain around your ankle. That mistake that cost you your business, the inaction that fractured a relationship, the swing and miss that hurt your pride. Are they going to remain anchors holding you in place? Or are they going to be fuel for your future? Think of your life as a story, a hero's journey. You are the warrior, called to something greater. You've left your previous world, faced your demons, learned about yourself along the way. Maybe you were cut short. Maybe you feel like you're left without a conclusion. But here's the beautiful truth. You are painting that picture now in real time. The ending hasn't been written yet, and it's entirely in your control. How convenient that you fell yesterday. Now you have an opportunity to be stronger today. How incredible that you learned what actions or inaction were not in line with the person you want to be. Now you have an opportunity to root all that out. How beautiful that you felt the pain of quitting, of stopping short. Now, as you push forward into that great unknown, you have a reminder, a powerful motivator to keep going. Embrace the uncertainty. Move courageously into the future. Know that life will push back. The world has a say. Sometimes that means we must be humbled along the way. It means we swing and miss. It means plans fall apart. But you will prevail. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. Because you perceive the adversity as merely a cost of admission, because you refuse to let it define you, because you believe in your ability to rise, to learn, to grow, to become the person you were always meant to be. You are not your past. You are your potential. Now go out there and claim it.